minutes?
No, we'll start now. I mean, why not? Right?
Whatever,
Unless
good.
you're like, oh my God, well, it's fucking too late now. We already clicked go live, right?
Yeah, man. All good.
Look, it's been 2 years. I thought it's been 1 year. It's been 2 years because I guess COVID as a year doesn't count.
Right.
And you and I, you WhatsApped me
Mm-hmm.
as you knew my brother-in-law, right? Let's just resume that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I remember us talking for a grand total of what, like 30 minutes?
Yeah, we spoke for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We spoke. I was asking a lot of questions. It's also that I was in the space for a couple of years and was not getting anywhere. Like was getting zero places, zero progress.
You weren't you doing you weren't doing websites or something like that then, were you?
At the beginning when I started, I said yes to everything, and that's how I taught myself how to do stuff, right? And then once I taught myself how to do stuff, I realized what I was good at and what I was not good at. I loved hanging out in the world of paid campaigns, of PPC with Google ads and Facebook ads and stuff like that. But I was teaching myself as I go, so I was learning from all these different people. Then I started getting all these ads for these gurus, and I was just like, I want to pay somebody to learn something, but like I don't know if I trust these guys. So then I stumbled upon your group and just listening to the lunch and learns and interviews and seeing the value, and I was like, okay, I'm open. And then
big plus, not a scammer. Big plus,
not a scammer, super simple. Like he speaks on normal people's levels. And then I realized that we had a mutual friend who was your brother-in-law. So I asked him what the deal was, and he said, "Oh, he's a really good dude." So then we talked, and then I had the big conversation with my wife. I said, I'm going to pay a guy on the internet with a butt logo.
Yep.
And she's like, if this doesn't work, you're trying something else. I was also like, I tried selling stuff on eBay. I was doing everything. And once I got in, it took me a couple of months to figure out what my personal path to success was, which is probably different than other people, which we'll probably get into. And then once I figured it out, it was all steam, also full steam ahead. And I was part of the IC when you were still doing the meetings, the Chamber of Commerce type of thing.
Yep, in person.
So the in-person stuff, and I took it from there. I started with outreach and did all that stuff, and then my aha moment came a couple months later. So
weren't you doing like, I remember you putting on your personal profile like you did these like teaching workshops or something like that. Was that what you did or no?
So I did that after. My aha moment came through the IC, and I was like, I didn't have any clients obviously, so I had a ton of free time. So I was really learning. So I was trying to learn as much as I can. And then I stumbled upon some master classes of I stumbled upon master classes, and then there were people like Jeff Lopez talking about power partnerships, and I started David's LinkedIn master class, and I was just like, and then there was a lot of outreach going on there. There was like the beginning of the cold email outreach, and I tried that, and I was getting demos, and I didn't close anybody, but I just realized that time frame, because I'm 7 hours ahead of East Coast time.
Yep.
So that was bumping into I had a 1-year-old at home, and I wanted to be in the evenings with my wife, and like there was a certain life I wanted to live, and I was like, okay, outreach is not for me. Okay. Let's figure out how I can get what?
It wasn't for you because of the responses are coming in effectively midnight your time or too late. Is that correct?
That's one of the responses. The second response, that was one of the reasons. The second reason was that I didn't like my chances, right? This isn't baseball where if you hit 30% of the time, you get in the Hall of Fame. It is that, but I didn't want to spend time on outreach. So I was trying to figure out how I can get clients to come to me who are already like, hey, let's pay you money. Like, this is what we want.
Yeah.
So what I started doing was the workshops were before that. I started creating content every single day. I created a rule for myself. Every single day that goes by that I'm not satisfied with the amount of money that I'm taking in, I'm going to spend 15 minutes a day creating content. No more, no less. 15 minutes a day.
That's an interesting rule because you have that spark of like, I'm dissatisfied, I have to go do a thing. And the 15-minute time frame makes it like doable. Like if you say 8 hours, it's going to take 8 hours, but 15 minutes, it'll take 15 minutes,
It
right?
also helps me not care if nobody watches it.
Because you only put 15 minutes into it.
Because I only put 15 minutes into it. So I started making these super elementary videos of like how to do extensions on Google Ads and why remarketing is important.
Yeah.
And like I started doing that every single day, and people started. I started getting people reaching out, trickling in, saying, "Yeah, let's pay you money," just for my personal profile, no business page, none of that stuff, right?
From those, like your version of those 90-second marketing videos that I did, with the green screen and all that, you did your version.
Oh, so I copied the heck out of you, right?
This is what you're supposed to do.
I copied the heck out of you. This is on your personal profile. I just went back and started looking at your videos. I was like, oh, this guy has something going on here. So I was just, and some of the videos that I made, I kind of copied you word for word. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so yeah, I started making these videos, and people were coming in, and that was good. And then my problem was the price point, is that people were coming in, but they didn't have the budgets that I needed.
Yeah.
So then what I did was I started really doubling down on the whole power partnership thing.
Gotcha.
So what happened? I started, because I was making these videos, I started becoming friendly with other people in the space, web designers, content creators, other agencies, things like that. And then I realized that these agencies were charging $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month for the same thing that I'm charging $500 a month for. And I'm like, I want those people. So I went to the agencies. I created relationships with multiple agencies. I'm not talking about power partners yet. Paid campaign agencies, right? That charge $3,000 a month. And I told them, I said, if you get a client that charges between $1,000 and $2,000 a month come across your desk, you're going to say no to them.
Yep.
Just send them to me. Why don't you tell them, oh, I have a guy for you. Send them to me. And how I proved myself with a bunch of these agencies, I worked for a month for like 20, 30 hours at like $50 an hour, like nothing. But we built trust, right? And then they started sending me people who were already yes to them. Like they were already in the game with them. They're in the market for paid campaigns, but they don't have the budget. And for me, $1,500 a month was a huge jackpot.
It's a big plus.
So I started having agencies refer me people who are already past the yes. So we're like, yes, this is what we want.
I'm trying to give someone money. Who do I give it to?
Right. So there was no sales call. Like it was just, okay, this is like, and I already knew, because the agency spoke to me before, I knew the whole spiel already.
Yeah.
Like I knew. So I had agencies send me people left and right. And then I started getting bigger clients. Then I started getting bigger clients without having to close them, in essence. I wasn't white label. I was doing it. I was their strategic partner for things that, for companies that couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
So if I have 4 or 5 agencies, and this is the truth of the matter is that what we have to realize is that, especially in this space, is that people are inherently good. If 100,000 people become paid digital marketers every single day for the next 5 years, there will still not be enough of us.
Yep.
Right? So people want to help. I also asked them how you got here and learned from them. And it's not only here, give me your clients. It was me learning from my own personal interest and like, okay, this is what I want to be like you in 5 years. Help me get there.
Yeah.
And people just share their secrets. And I was like, okay, like not share their secrets. It wasn't secrets. It was like, we did X and Y, or we went to these conferences and whatever it may be. So I had agencies started sending me people, which was great. And then COVID hit, right?
That's right. Like you joined with COVID. Yeah.
Right. So with COVID, also before that, I was going to conferences too, and just speaking to other companies and people and nonprofits and high tech and small businesses and all that stuff. But COVID hit, and what I decided to do was leverage these relationships that I was building for 10, 12 months. And what happened was, when I was speaking to these people, trying to learn from them, I was like, wow, I should record this. This is really good.
Yep.
Right. So I was like, okay, why don't I just do it live? I'll get exposure to their network. Yes. They'll get exposure also, just like this. Why not just have this conversation live? We did zero prep for this, right?
Yeah. So you're like, we're going live. I'm like, we're going live.
Right. So then I started interviewing these people every single week. I did a lunch and learn too. Where do you think I got the lunch and learn name from? From you, right? So I did lunch and learn too, and I was interviewing, not really interviewing. It was just this conversation, like marketing talk, marketing jargon, right? Talking about that, and I was doing interviewing other paid campaign people, e-commerce people, graphic designers, web developers, all of these people, right? Who I also then developed relationships with, who they also started sending me clients. If somebody's going to a web designer to design a website, they're probably going to want to show that website to lots of people. Right? So who are we going to pay to help us show it to lots of people? And the web designer goes, well, I know a guy. I was on his, he did a live, I did a live with him. So he obviously knows what he's talking about, right? They don't know how many people saw the live. Doesn't matter.
Right.
So I ended up doing a 3-hour marathon at the beginning of COVID of just teaching everything I knew of like, and then interviewing these people every single week. So I developed these power partnerships with zero outreach. And I was hitting 10, 15K a month very quickly. And nobody looked at my website. I have the worst website in history, and I've sort of like kept it going to see how long it's going to take until I have to build a new one. And like zero people have ever visited my website because they're already past that. There's that element of trust. So for me, outreach didn't work. Cold outreach didn't work. What I tried to do was leverage my network, my personal network, and grow my personal network with power partners. Whether they do what I do and they send me cheaper clients, or they do things that whoever they're doing it for is going to want my services as well. So from this little hippie town in the middle of nowhere in the desert, I was working with law firms in London, psychologists in Dubai, like high-tech companies that are worth like billions of dollars.
Hippie town. We got to talk about the hippie town. Okay.
So
you put let me prompt. Okay. So like at this point, which is like a month ago, right? I don't know anything where you live. I don't know like your family situation. Like I don't care. I shouldn't know, right? Everyone's got their own private stuff, right? Why would I ask, right?
Right.
And you're like, yo, man, I made like 120K last year USD, and it's like part time. I'm like, that's fucking awesome, dude. And you're like, and also I live in a hippie town. I'm like, what? We don't have TVs, all right? Our kids like grow up together. It's like, is it a commune? Like, it looks like everyone has like, they're just hanging out. Is that right?
It's not a commune. There is this idea in Israel called a kibbutz, which a lot of people know what it is.
Super familiar with kibbutzes. I had to go like birthright. We had to like do it for like 2 days or something.
Right. So kibbutzim are like super communist, and like they share their income and stuff. And like I'm not growing up in America. I'm not sharing my income with anybody but my wife.
Right.
Like, that's all. So I live in a little community of people who all earn their own share, and they don't share their income, right? But we have like, I live in a little caravan trailer. It's small. I have a little deck, and there nobody has TVs. Kids run around and like
they're barefoot, having a great time.
Yeah. So the driving, you can only drive on the outskirts, like because there's all 45 families here, so you can only drive around. So kids, there's no cars. Kids run around, do whatever they want. People send in the WhatsApp group all the time. Oh, does anyone seen my kid? And if you've seen them, this is the best. If you've seen him, can you just feed him dinner? Like make sure he ate something.
That is so fun. That's probably honestly like a great way to grow up, but also fucking hilarious. Like,
it's the best. I see my kids and they're like loving. They love life. My kid is 3 years old and like he leaves the house and he doesn't even tell me where he's going.
You don't have to wonder.
Right. No, there's no cars. There's like, I know everybody. And but it's a parallel universe because nobody really understands what I do either.
Yeah.
People are like, oh yeah, Yoni plays on the internet, like whatever. I don't understand.
Yeah.
So that's cool it's cool where I live. It works for us, but it hasn't stopped me. And for anybody, it doesn't matter where they live. It's like I live an hour and a half away from Tel Aviv, which is the epicenter of like startups, has the most venture capital put in there outside of San Francisco. Most venture capital per capita in the world. So everybody, no matter where they live, is close to a city with lots of businesses and lots of tech and lots of offices and lots of people that need to raise their hand on the internet, right?
Yeah.
So whether it's B2B with LinkedIn or whether it's B2C with ads or B2B with ads or outreach or whatever it may be, it's just like I just realized that outreach wasn't working. I didn't like the close rate that I was had. I didn't like the money that I was making. Like, let's just get in front of the people that already have these people in their hand.
Right.
And then I started getting, it was crazy because 6 months after that, I wasn't doing really anything different in my business.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was learning, and being around these overachievers, you become more successful, just like through osmosis.
Yeah.
But I was charging more. I had more people coming to me, um, and I was more successful. And then people started. I all of a sudden, because of my lives and my content, became this authority that I never thought I was.
And you didn't really ever view yourself as an authority, right? Like if somebody says, "Oh, that's Yoni, he knows digital marketing," be like, I don't really. Is that correct? Like, do you ever feel like you never feel like you're an authority or at the top? You're always looking up. Is that right? Never.
No, I'm never in a. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not at the top. There are agencies here that are doing tons and tons of work for way more money than I'm charging. Is like there's always somebody higher than you, which is great.
Yeah.
Which is great because there also things have happened on the other side where somebody comes to me and is like, "We want you to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D," and I'm just like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" But I have the perfect person for you.
Yeah.
And the amazing part is that because we're all friends now, I'm friends with all these service providers. There's referral fees, so like I get 10% of whatever they pay them month after month, and like I'm just collecting money on referral fees that I refer to them of clients that I don't want. Same thing with somebody comes to me and says, "Can I have a website?" I was like, I don't do it, but I know somebody that does it. So I also avoid the white label trap there as well.
Yep.
So when I bring somebody on, I bring them on as a strategic partner. So it's their work, and they work with. So it'll cost me a little bit more money, but I don't have that white label. What if everything hits the fan and that white label person doesn't come through? So it really like these relationships. Like this is going to sound super cheesy, but there is so much ROI in just being a good person.
Yep.
Of compounding being a good person. It's pretty incredible. The other crazy part is that I'm looking around here and I'm looking for people where I was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Here in Israel and also in America. And I would love to send people who can't afford me now to somebody else. And I haven't been able to find that person, and I hopefully will.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Did you ever view your living situation as a disadvantage in your journey? Because the reason why I bring it up is because a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, I live so far away from a big city. I don't know the right person." Like you have that physical manifestation of like, there's no customers here. Did you ever feel that was a disadvantage, or it didn't even come into your head because you're like, "I'll just start doing lunch and learns and talking to people"?
No, there's this thing. It's a really crazy invention, Jeff. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called the internet.
Isn't that weird? Right?
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
There's the internet where all of a sudden it doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what you do. And a lot of times it's something that's admirable. Like my lifestyle for a lot of people, and even in the inner circle, when I posted about it, people were like, "Oh, I'm so jealous. Show us pictures. Maybe we'll do that. Can I ask you questions about like how you live?" So it's really the opposite, where I looked at what my living situation as an advantage for me, right? Like my definition of success and my definition of like being like doing really well is like I don't want to have 10 employees and have salaries on my head every month and all that stuff, more and living in a big city. But there are always, if you're good at what you do and if you're a nice person, then again, I have people all over the world paying me money, all over the world, from Dubai to London to New York to Chicago to Miami, and all sorts of niches as well. And I was able to not niche down because of the influx of clients that I'm getting. And so like I from high tech to crypto but like not in the last 6 months before it became cool. I was working with a publicly traded company who deals in that, and again, law firms and psychologists and doing all sorts of stuff. Like I had clients who want to just a ton of views on their video. I had other clients who want lead gen with a follow-up automation email. It's in Chicago. So like there's no niche there either.
Yeah. It's just a product, right?
Right. I have paid campaigns on multiple platforms and I do outreach as well. And I stumbled upon outreach by this publicly traded company. I was tagged by somebody who I don't even know. Okay. And like this guy put it, and again, this is just because I put stuff out on the internet. And like and again, with no pressure. Going back to the content, I'll get back to the story in a second. I only post content when I'm in need of clients. It gives me a lot of motivation, and then it makes me like, and I also give really good tips. Like if somebody looked at all of my tips, like if somebody looked at all of your lunch and learns, they would have never, they don't have to pay you anything. So like,
Correct.
that's my strategy as well. And I'm just really trying to help people. So people see that and they go, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. And so somebody tagged me, and then they come to me and ask me they want to do LinkedIn outreach. And I said, first of all, I said yes, but I just want you to know that I've done it for myself because of David's masterclass. I've done it for myself, but I've never really done it for a client. And like starting out with a publicly traded finance fintech company might not be my best start. And they're like, okay, no, we trust you. You seem like you know what you're doing. But because of they see because if they see 20, 30 videos of you and they see people that they trust tagging me, it's like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. And even if I didn't have any experience and I was transparent with them, they're like, okay, let's give it a 1 month shot, 1 month trial and see where it goes. I ended up having them for like a year doing this. And to tell you the truth, these bigger companies who pay more, like they didn't even have Salesforce in their department that I was working with. Like they're not anywhere. And the big agencies that I was working for that I did like a 1 month just till I gained their trust, they paid me $50 an hour. Mm-hmm. I taught their Facebook ads person how to do a Zapier automation to ActiveCampaign. So I was like, if these agencies are charging $3,000 a month and they don't know how to do a Zapier integration to ActiveCampaign, I must know a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really, there's no disadvantage in where I live. It's really just an advantage. And the best part is that when I close the computer, like I'm the most beautiful place in the world. Yeah. In my mind. So yeah, it's.
Okay. If I understood correctly,
mm-hmm.
all you did was do a bunch of lunch and learns or videos. Yeah, whenever you want to have a client, fine, right? And in the beginning, you always want a client, so you're always doing a video. But you cap it at 15 minutes. You don't get heartbroken if nobody likes your stuff. But after doing it for what, a month, 2, 3 months, you've got so much Yoni time and so much Yoni content that people start watching it. They're like, that's the guy that ain't going to screw me on the internet. Mm-hmm. I like this stuff. Let's talk about you doing the thing you mentioned in the video, but for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they could have done it themselves too. There's like, oh, you know, you're probably better at it. Yeah. And the cool part about the lunch and learns, the 30-minute interviews or the 45-minute talks, is that you can send it. So you can go on Fiverr or Upwork and send it to somebody, and make a little template on Canva. Yep. And you all of a sudden have like 15 posts that you can tag the other people in.
Yeah.
So like I now have 15 chances over the next 3 months to get exposed to this person's network who I just interviewed. 15 chances. So I like those numbers.
And that's without being sleazy or scammy or buy my stuff. Is now time you're like, hey, here's this video I think you'll like. Go take a look.
Right. The only time I ever made a post in the last 4 years to buy my stuff was a couple months ago when I wrote, oh, I'm looking for 5 businesses who want like X more clients on my Facebook because everyone was doing it. I was like, okay, I'll try.
See what happens.
I ended up, but because I had established that trust over the course of a year and a half, like people were like, okay, like I'll give it a shot.
You're like, all right then.
Yeah. So again, the it's not sleazy if you combine it with real value that you add for people's lives. Like there are businesses that do very well. Like I'm sure that no matter what city that you live in, there are like printer repair businesses. Yep. Okay. That sign huge contracts. I'm just making this up, but they're like printer that sign huge contracts, $100,000 contracts, $50,000 contracts for 5 years, who don't have a Facebook pixel on their site.
Correct.
So like, if you could just also go on these sites of companies, like if you live in a random state or like Oklahoma or something, and you could see what businesses dominate Oklahoma City, and just go on their websites and then you can, instead of reaching out to them cold, you can create content and then maybe send it to somebody on LinkedIn or send to somebody, be like, hey, like I noticed you didn't have a Facebook pixel. I just made this really great piece of content. If you need, I'll like put it on for you.
Yeah.
Like no selling, no nothing. So like if you want to stick with cold outreach, or if you don't have that network of people and you want to do that, if you just do that with value, then it works too. So I have people calling me all the time asking me questions who can't afford me, and I help them, right? I just signed the big deal that I signed right now. How did I get it?
The 50K for 6
Right.
months. Yeah.
How did I get that deal?
Yeah.
There was this organization this nonprofit that like I really loved, and I participated in some volunteering for them. I was part of like one of their programs, and I ended up talking to the founder.
Yep.
And I was giving her all this marketing advice and telling her what I think she should do and how she should do outreach and how the English website and the Hebrew website and like how she should run ads and who she should target and then what she should put in the ads. Like, and all I did was use the 5 things you need in a Facebook ad type of thing. Yep. So I was just like, that's my roadmap. Right. So like, you just need 5 things. And I do that same thing for the email. If you're writing a piece, how do I write emails? I don't know how to write emails. I just make sure that all 5 things are in those emails, like calling out your audience, doing pain point their hopes and dreams. And I don't want to, and then going like then the promise, and then scarcity, and then next steps, and like that's what I do. So I was helping her a lot, and again, totally for free. And it turns out, again, this is just by being a good person and being totally lucky. But it turns out that her dad runs a tech company that makes $10 million a year. So when her dad was like at the dinner table saying, like they had like a family meeting, like, okay, we're looking for X and Y. She's like, oh, I know the perfect person.
Yeah.
Because of strategic partnerships that I made, I was just giving away information, giving away stuff, giving away your value, because the ROI of being a good person. Now I mean, again, we started off with a 1 month, 3 month trial, and now I just signed them for another 6 months. So obviously you have to be good at what you do to retain these people. But it's just the foot in the door. It's just the foot in the door. And it doesn't matter what your competition is charging. It doesn't matter any of that. If they trust you, then they'll pay like what you ask. If it's not extraordinary, if it's not exorbitant, they'll pay what you ask. So, and then we did the 3 month lead reactivation, they just signed for another 6 months and they added 3 more projects. So that's the way it turned out. So they're giving me the list. I'm writing the emails, and I'm using Lemlist and sending out emails to people who use their program.
So last year you made a grand total of $120 USD.
Correct.
Now with one client, you'll make over $100,000. Is that correct?
If they sign for another 6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably. No, it'll be just under. It'll be like 96 or 97. Right. Right. It'll be 96, 97. But yeah, that's incredible. And I pinch myself and I'm super grateful. But again, I put in a lot of time and a lot of effort into building my network, right? I had a lot of time to put into growing my business and growing my brand. And I chose not to put it into outreach. And I chose to put it more into schmoozing, into talking to people. Because I liked talking to people eye to eye better than reaching out to businesses who I had to sell, who were like, okay, you're selling me. So I did do outreach, right? I reached out to people and became friends with them and asked them questions. The best way to start is, if you like want to talk to agencies, the best way to do it is say, hey, can you, like, you're 5 years ahead of me. Can you like give me some pointers? Can we have a coffee over Zoom? Or can I call you for 15 minutes when you're driving to work?
Yeah.
Right? And they'll say yes. And it just starts there. So I was reaching out to those people, and it brought, like, the ROI is just like, I'm still at zero outreach, like zero. And I have calls coming in all the time. But again, it's also, you have to complement that with videos. Now, when I say 15 minutes a day with the posting, sorry that I'm jumping around, but like, I'm passionate about this. When I say 15 minutes a day, like, everyone has a phone, and like, this isn't an iPhone. This is like a Xiaomi Redmi that I bought for $250. You don't need anything fancy, right? You don't need anything fancy. And you don't realize how much knowledge you have. Even the fact that you're in this group, right? Watch one of Jeff's Lunch and Learns, people, right? Take like 3 different notes, 3 different like bits, and make videos.
Yep.
Take out your phone, record it for 60 seconds, no edits, no lighting. Do it while you're walking your dog. It doesn't matter. Okay, we're in the TikTok age of, I don't even know, garbage. Like, it's just like nobody cares about it. And give value to people, and do it on your personal profile. And I promise that people that you know, your friends and your family and your network, there will be somebody that says, wow, that really helped me. Can I pay you money now?
Yeah.
So it's really like, yeah, it's that, and it's really that simple. And the content side, and then it's just complemented with the power partnerships. It's the trust is just automatically there. So my close rate is like, I don't even count. I don't even have a close rate because it's like past that. It's past that. It's like close to 100%.
Yep.
So I would say over 80% for sure of the people that I want, and that's that, my friend. That.
Do you find that like a lot of people try to overcomplicate this type of thing? Because everything you said just seems very, very simple. Do some videos, and then people will tag you, and it's really not that hard. Do you find people are communicating it, or is there like some other devil on their shoulder?
So I'll tell you something. We had one call when I first started the IC. We had one call, and I was overcomplicating it, and like you let me talk for like 15 minutes, and like you said, like I think you said 3 sentences the whole entire meeting, but the last thing you said was just like, dude, shut off your brain.
Yeah. Tell your brain to STFU. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Tell your brain to shut up and like trust yourself, and like you'll be fine. And I really took that to heart. Like I really did. So I have to tell myself to shut my brain up every day, because I still try to overcomplicate things. But keeping it simple is keeping it stupid simple, being straight up. I also take some of your isms of like just raising your hand. Like I tell potential clients all the time, even big clients, just raise your hand and tell people you exist. Or like, the bottom line is that you want people to pay you money. And like, when you keep it simple like that, people identify with it and they trust you. So yes, I personally tend to overcomplicate things all the time, and I have to remind myself multiple times a day to keep it simple. To keep it stupid simple, and it works. So yes, I think that a lot of people overcomplicate things. There are also a lot of programs out there that require you to like spend tons of time on technical stuff, and again, the end of the day, our clients want results. They want more people in their business. They want more brand awareness. They want whatever their goal is. They want more of it. So if you can get it easily and quickly and efficiently, it saves you time. Why don't you do it? What you're going through right now with the dentist agency is exactly that. Taking out all the noise, and you're telling dentists, this is what we can get you. Like, do you want it? Yes. If not, no. So you're not. So I was lucky enough to be in this group and eventually in the IC, which one of the main things there was just to keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it, because we have a tendency to do so.
There's something weird about when you only hang out with other digital marketers and they try to like look how amazing I am. Look at the amazing thing that I built. And everybody goes, oh, wow. It's kind of like when car people hang out with car people. Talk about camshafts all day. I'm like, the fuck is a camshaft? Like as a concept, I get it. I know the word, but why are you talking about it? And it's just them trying to impress each other. Happens with digital marketing. Do you find that like a lot of the clients that you talk to, you never talk tech with them? Like, are you ever saying like, hey, we're going to set up like an 18-point flow on ManyChat with like all these things? You even talk about that? Or is it just like, here's my plan to get you more customers?
The most I talk about with them is that I go over the audiences that I build with them. I say we're going to send out 3 emails to these people once every 3 to 5 days. These are the emails. But like I keep it super simple, because that's the way that's also how people that's what they want to hear. They want to hear that their money is being spent, that that it's worth it for them, that I'm actually doing stuff and not just like being like hiring some random person to do it for me, or not doing anything, because there are also a lot of like not kosher people in this space that take money and don't do anything. So I don't really get technical with my clients, but I show them that I'm doing stuff. And a lot of times I even send them once a week. And like I even stopped doing fancy reports at the end of the month. What I do is I just do like an email with a couple paragraphs and some bold headlines. And these are the results that you got. And this is what we spent. And this is what we plan on doing to get better results. And I've gotten a much better response than getting Like I like if sending a fancy report, and I would ask them, "Did you read the report?" And they're like, "No, no."
Why would you ever expect them to? Like I've been on the receiving end.
Because I overcomplicate things too.
I've been on the receiving end of some of those reports, and I'm like, dude, just give me the number. Like nobody,
Right.
this is not part of my purchasing decision or renewal process. It's
Right.
part of your insecurity. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so don't bring that into here. Just tell me what you did and if you fixed it and next steps, and that's it. And I've had better conversations with agencies that do that and charge a fair to big fee than agencies that charge little makes you complicated. Like there's something about like down here where like, oh my God, everything is different, everything is hard. And one day you just snap out of it. And you're like, look, man, I'm gonna send 3 emails, they're gonna be written nice. Here they are. Okay. Here's the ad running on the internet. Here's the script you're using. We're gonna charge you money. What would you like to do from here?
Right.
My pitch now, by the way. Like it's down to 15 minutes.
Amazing. I'm sort of at the same place with like, and it's like, and it's incredible. It's incredible keeping it simple, and you're not cheapening yourself when you keep things simple. A lot of time, like people when they walk into their house and the kitchen is clean and the house is clean, and like people pay other people a lot of money to keep their house clean and simple. So why wouldn't they apply the same thing in their personal space than to their business as well? So people will pay a lot of money to keep their marketing simple and efficient. Just like you know where your forks are, you know where the plates are. The kitchen's the same thing.
You know where your digital marketing is. It's going to be simple.
You know where your digital marketing is. You know the results. You know where the leads are coming in. You know you're going to get an email notification. You know I'll send you something at the end of the week. You'll see the purchases or the donations or the book calls booked on your calendar. You know where you're going to see it, and you don't have to do anything else. Just give me access, and we're good to go.
And that's your $4,000 a month pitch.
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends for what client. I charge between 1,500 and right now 8, but it's really per project. It's like 2,600, 2,680. It was 3, but they threw in 3 more. So I should have kept it at 3, and I could have been more than 8. But I'm just learning for the next time. Again, I'm still learning. I'm not a huge fish yet. There are people in this group making way more money than me, but my definition of success is different. We didn't even get to the part-time thing, which I'm sure you want to get to.
That's true. So like the underlying assumption for everybody watching this is that Yoni was going 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. hardcore every single day, throwing away his life on his laptop and all that. But that is 100% incorrect. You did this part-time, not extra full-time, not American full-time, part-time. So tell me about that.
So I work 3 to 4 days a week, from 9 a.m. to 3.
Yeah.
No, late. Usually, no. It's probably from 10 because I like leave the house at 9 and get to the office around 9:20. Yeah. I rent an office for $100 a month at like in a village next door.
Dude, you make more money than some agencies. That's so fucking funny.
So yes, I work 3 to 4 days a week. Daytime 9 to 3. I like to pick up my kid from preschool at 3:30. So I tend to do that and be with them until 8:30 when we bedtime. Like tonight was when I came to the interview a little bit early. We started at 8 p.m. Was I think in the last 3 years one of less than 5 times I didn't put my kid to bed. So like doing it once every few months, like he's cool with it because he knows that I'm going to be there. So I work 3 or 4 days a week. The reason that I do is not only like I also like to do other stuff with my time and learn other stuff. And like it's not like I'm sitting by the pool eating bonbons all day, which sometimes I do in the summer because there's nothing else to do here. But like I learn others. My wife is also she's also a business owner, and she does her own thing. So she works 2 days a week, and she's an interior designer. So she goes to her construction sites and doing all that stuff. So I'm home with our baby, who's 8 months old. The other days, so on those days, I work probably at around 8 from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. So in total, I'm working 6 hours a day for 3 days a week, and then a couple hours the rest of the week at night. And that's enough. Yeah. And that's enough. Again, when you keep it super simple, right? And you build out your infrastructure for your campaigns are good. And then the hard work is really at the beginning. The hard work is really on the onboarding and the building it out. So I tried for a couple months this year to be like everybody else and to like rent a fancy office that cost me $1,000 a month and hire an employee and get more clients than I can handle. And I ended up I tried it for like 6 weeks or four to 6 weeks. I was like, wait, I'm making less money.
Yep.
And I'm like growing gray hairs and my stomach hurts and like, this is not cool. So because of the internet and because of the space that we're in, working part-time or not even part-time, working the hours that you define is not only possible, but recommended. So like you can use your brain for other stuff, right? Using your brain for other stuff, developing relationships with people outside of work, walking around and traveling, or spending time with your family or learning about investing in the stock market. Like, I don't know. There's tons of stuff that you can do. Taking a course, other things that you could do, even develop other forms of income.
Yep.
But the part-time for me was hugely I mean, I'm in awe of it every day. I'm super grateful for it. It took me a long time to get here of grinding because I spent 2 years just like running around like a mouse, like the mousetrap things or like the mouse wheel, making $2,000 a month, being like, this is not working for some reason. And then the just putting in that work turned into a part-time gig. So it's 3 days a week. It's pretty incredible. And my definition of success is different than other people's definitions.
Correct.
But it's definitely possible to make 100,000 a year on 80% margins, or 120 on 80% margins, or even 150 on 80% margins. I mean, I could work another day and probably make more.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that when my kids don't need me as much as they do right now. And like, if you could do it, you can do it. It's not impossible. It's just not.
Isn't that like the craziest part about all this? Like our grandfather's economy was like, hey, 9 to 5, work 30 years, get a Rolex, retire. And then maybe you can see your kids. Then maybe you can go fishing. Maybe then you can lay up by the pool. And you're like, how about I do that now?
Correct. 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 It's super important. It depends what's important in your life. It depends what's important. Everyone has their own list of things that are really important to them. But like, we also, at the beginning, before we moved down to the desert, we were living in the city. I worked for the Ministry of Economy for a year. I worked in high tech for 2 years at a publicly traded company, and like the money was good, and my wife was working in the government and like in the parliament, and we just didn't see each other.
Yeah. So
we were just like, let's move out to the desert where our rent is pretty free, and like we'll try to
pretty free. Yeah.
we'll try to we'll try to figure it out on our own.
Yeah.
So I changed careers, moving from doing I have a degree in political science, and from doing government stuff and to doing policy stuff to doing digital marketing. But how did I come into digital marketing to begin with? I had a friend who is a rabbi, and like a pulpit rabbi who I grew up with in Miami, from Miami. And you don't make a lot of money being a rabbi. I'll tell you that.
You have too many kids.
So no, it's not even before the kids. There's not a lot of money. So he was telling me once, when I was like super miserable working in PR after government, like I was working a bunch of different jobs. He's like, I make like $3,000, $4,000 a month doing Google ads for Amazon companies at night.
Wait, the rabbi says this?
Yeah. So I already knew that this part-time thing was possible.
Yeah.
He was like, I do PPC with Google ads, and I do Amazon paid ads, and like people pay me money for it. It's pretty cool. And then I get to do what I love during the day and like help people and be their spiritual guide. So I said, okay, I'll check it out. So while I was still working in tech, I would wake up at 6 in the morning every day, and I would take the free Google Ads course.
Yeah.
And I would do that. I did that a half an hour every day for a month until I got Google Ads certified.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that was easy. That was free. That was cool. Now I have some fancy paper from Google. So then I started, and then so then it just went from there. And then I stumbled upon this group because Google Ads was getting boring for me. It's like, oh, let's do more fun stuff like Facebook. And then I searched for like ad agency stuff, and then your group came up, so I joined it. But I knew from the beginning that my first exposure to digital marketing was not the Gary V, I'm going to work until I puke model.
Yeah.
My first exposure was, no, I do this for a couple hours every night and like make $4 or $5 grand a month.
Yeah.
So the part-time was always the goal. I want to do other stuff. I want to use my brain for other stuff. I want to build stuff with my hands or learn other stuff and spend time with my family.
I think it's so cool how I feel like people in the IC are like not scale bros. Like they're not Lamborghinis. They're not like all in, burn the boats, like 100% Facebook ads agency. Like there isn't like this cultish type of thing. It's like, no, you're a normal human being. You got stuff. This is just an awesome way to make a lot of money, and you can go for it if you want, or just keep it limited. Nobody cares. Like there's celebrations of people that get like a $350 a month, as much as people land like a 3,500, as much as people land at 35,000. Money wins or wins, dude. A fucking plus, right? And I think like for me and for you, for people that are like not 18, maybe like post 30, that's when you're like, dude, it's not all about one thing. You got to have like a variety, otherwise you burn out. And family matters and life matters. To go outside, you know, like it sounds stupid, but so many people that are so obsessed with this like singular measurement of their success miss out on the 20 other things that make life living.
Correct.
I feel like you've 100%. Actually landed it and nailed it and are being rewarded because you can have conversations with people, because you can talk about stuff that's not digital marketing, because you are a normal human being that happens to do Facebook ads or whatever tool.
And it turns out that after 4 years or 5 years of doing this, I'm pretty good at what I do.
Yeah.
Not because like I set out to be the best. It's because you just have a lot of experience. I have a lot of experience in a lot of different niches, doing a lot of different types of campaigns and a lot of stuff. I mean, you could look at the history of the questions I asked in the IC.
Yep.
Like I anything I didn't know, I asked people in the IC. Anything I did, and people would help. And I was on tons of calls with people, and people would just comment and having that base of like people who are on the same boat as you, even though there are people in the IC that are killing it, like doing crazy, like you mentioned them last week, but there are guys doing like, and I remember our conversations at the beginning where we were talking to each other about how to do LinkedIn outreach. Like, it's great. I'm so proud of it. I'm so happy. Like everyone has their different equation of like how to be a badass and how to be successful.
I remember
the IC is good people, and this group is good people, and it's just simple, and nobody wants to be. I don't think anybody in the IC wants to be Grant Cardone, or not that I have anything against them, or Gary Vee, or like. You guys are neighbors, not neighbors.
Like he just yells too much for me. So like I remember talking with. I mean, I'm not going to say names, but I remember talking with people, and they're literally at posts of people in the IC. They're like, "Hey, how do I land my first client?" And now they're doing like $25,000 a week. They're doing $100,000 a week. They're doing $100,000 a day. And it's like, yeah, man, everybody's happy for you. There isn't this like weird scarcity thing, a little bit, like not a lot, but it's crazy seeing people's growth and determination from a program that like, honestly, like I look at the IC and go like, that's damn good, but it's not like, oh my God, a huge price point, amazing program. It's like, these are just normal skills, guys. Like, don't make it a big deal. Learn how to prospect, learn how to sell, learn how to fulfill. You'll find your fit. You just have to do prospecting as a service for like huge companies now, right? And it's so cool seeing those introductory posts a year or 2 or 3 years ago, because I remember one gal, I'm not going to say her name. She's like, my name is blank and I hate selling and I can't do it. And then 3 years later, she's posting $20,000 weeks. And you're like, holy shit, like good for you. She came by the house the other day. She's like, it's not really about the money. It's just that like now I get to travel with my family.
Yeah.
It's like, that's
what you learn.
Yeah.
That's what you learn. So like if you're starting out, you're only 3 or 4 years away, or like if you actually do everything Jeff says, less than a year away. But if you don't listen to everything and do your own thing, which is also
An option.
very highly recommended, right? You're really just not that. If you dedicate yourself, you're not that far away from like doing 100K and like working half the week.
Yeah. Did you find that like there's a certain point where like, oh my God, this is real, this is happening? Like all of a sudden, like it clicked? Was it like the first paying client? Was the first time they got a result? Like when did your brain go like, oh my God, this is the skill set I can use? I like it, people pay it, and it's fulfilling. Like, was there a moment in your career in the past 2, 3, 4 years where that happened?
There were multiple moments. There were times when people came up to me in conferences and were like, "Oh yeah, you do Facebook ads, right? You do digital marketing, right?" But that was like it really wasn't about the money there. It was just like, oh, people recognize me from putting crappy videos out with bad sound on the internet. Like
they are. That's like the
uh,
videos with bad sound, but
yeah.
nobody cares. They think
No.
it's authentic, and you don't have to have this like huge
Right.
like expectation of quality. Because
Right.
honestly, if you put it up here, it takes too much time, too much effort, it looks too professional.
Right.
Most people would just rather talk to a real life human being that happens to do a thing, like a guy that happens to be a plumber or a roofer or a Facebook ads guy person. That's it.
Right. So, but for my aha moments, I have them all the time. So the way I have my my revenue in an Excel sheet or a Google sheet, and I have tabs for every year of the business. So like once a week, I open up. I just look at older years, like from 3 years ago, from the year before I joined the IC, and I see in huge bold letters, like $2,000 a month, and like with a huge smiley face next to it, and like pink, like I highlighted the background, because that was the month for me that like I told my wife like I can do this, I can make 20 grand in a year, and like in the desert I can be fine with that. Like, we can live very happy here. And that, so like I always have these milestones, and then when the first time somebody paid me $1,000 a month, first time somebody paid me $3,000 a month, and like I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like that, like I'm offering the same service. So like when I grinded, and when the money comes in, it's great, but it's also like from an ego perspective, like when somebody tags you or somebody says like somebody writes it's a LinkedIn review for you. It's also another thing is that anybody that does anything, do anything for, like ask them to write a LinkedIn recommendation for you. Yeah. Even if we just had a talk with them about for free about their marketing, you told them to put the printer repair company that signs big deals with these big high rises, that you told them to put a pixel on their website.
Yep.
Like he'll write you a LinkedIn recommendation. Yeah, great guy. We had a really good talk. He knows his stuff, right? And so every time somebody like says a good thing about me, or that they like had a good experience, for me it's the aha moments all the time. I'm always also trying to like get more efficient and work less and earn more, and like not lessen the quality of what I provide. That's also, yeah, that's also very important to like don't, as you grow, do not provide less quality stuff.
Was there ever a point where you said, I can't do this anymore, I'm overworked, I have to hire an employee or fire a client or anything? Like, did it ever become too much for you?
Yeah, so I had an employee for a few months.
Yeah.
I had an employee for like 2.5, 3 months. And that was that's when I tried to be like super cool and have a fancy office and all that stuff. And it's just like, it's just not for me. The business made more money and I made less money in my pocket, and I was just super stressed. I was super stressed, and like I wasn't organized. And what happened was when I decided to go back to like this model, which I ended up doing way better in. What happened was I had paid for Sales Navigator for a few of my clients while I was working with them. And there was 1 month where like a couple of them dropped off, which was like my worst churn rate ever, was when I lost 3 clients. And I was so overwhelmed with everything else that I forgot to cancel their sales navigator. So I was charged an extra like $300, and I was like, and again, it wasn't the money. It wasn't the money that was bothering me. It was the fact that I just lost track.
Yep.
Like, okay, this isn't for me. I'm gonna step back, take it back. I'll bite the bullet on the few $100. I don't care about the money, and I'm gonna go back to what my definition of success is.
Yeah.
And that's to be a good person and provide a quality product for clients that can afford me, and get really good results and give them the personal attention, and not make 20K a month or 30K a month, and stick with 10 to 15. Where like now with this big deal, I'll probably be, last year I worked 9 months out of the year last year. I took 3 months off. So I was at 13K a month for the months that I did work. And so this year I'll be at like, I hopefully will take 3 months off again this year.
Yeah.
And like, I'll be at not 13, maybe I'll be at 17 or 18, and like, I'll be able to sock more away.
So your perfect agency working relationship is not having like 30 virtual employees and thousands of clients.
Correct.
It's really like, it's going to be me, and maybe I have like part-time help, but it's like 80, 90% me. Mm-hmm. I have like 10 to 15 clients. They like me stuff. They like my stuff. I know them. I charge them money, like the solopreneur, but a highly paid one. Is that correct?
Correct. And I keep them around forever.
Yeah.
Like my average retention rate is between 8 months and a year.
Yeah.
So because of the trust, because of the service, even if there are bad months, because of the relationship and the trust, is like, they'll say, okay, let's continue. And it's just like, statistically, if you're doing digital marketing and paid campaigns and outreach, like if you have a bad month, the next month you'll bounce back. Like it's just, if you have half a brain at this, like your results are going to be fine. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that like that's the model. Keep them around for 8 to 12 months. And now I have a lot of really great friends in the space.
Yeah.
So even if I don't post for 6 months, right? And this is one of the things that I remember the preview of our interview. Like even if I don't post for 6 months, because I don't need clients, again, because I only post when I need clients. If I don't post for 6 months, I still get referrals. I still get tagged. And the referrals still are very willing and able to pay me, because they also go back on my feed and they see all of the content and they see the recommendations, but they don't necessarily look at the date. The date is written really small underneath the thing. They
can't see it. Yeah.
It could be last week or it could be last year. It doesn't matter. They see that this guy knows what he's talking about. It's good stuff. He's a good person. Oh, and this person who I trust happened to recommend him. So like, yeah, let's work. Let's work together.
I have found so many people afraid of using their Facebook profile as a sales letter. Maybe a sales letter is the incorrect word, but like I should just say documentation of their journey. That's how I phrase it, because it seems better, right? I found like there's a lot of people that are afraid of doing that because they're afraid of what I call snakes in the grass, which is friends that are like, you're not going to do it. It's going to be bad for you. Something like that. Did you have anybody start shaming your journey, or like, nah, I ain't going to work, or like snake in the grass or crab in the bucket type of thing? Or you didn't even have that type of experience?
Yeah, for sure. I didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's super simple. Again, you want some like a deep philosophical answer. Like, of course I had haters. Like, F them. Like, it's like, really, I'm gonna let these people who I haven't talked to in 10 years affect my bank account, like, or affect the work. Like, no, that's stupid. It's dumb. And I've actually found the opposite, that like the people in my network, they were at the beginning when I started, I didn't realize how many of my friends that I grew up with are business owners now, or that are that work at marketing at big companies that have marketing budgets, or that work in organizations that need to raise money, or like to recruit students for their high school program, like their summer camp. Like, there's just and everyone has that. I'm a big fan of posting and documenting your journey, but I do it I try to envision myself giving value to somebody that I love and appreciate, right? Yeah. So I'm going to tell you everything, right? Even if it's like, I'll help you with your business, I'll help you grow. I don't need anything in return. It's 100% genuine to help you get better results, to help you not waste money on ads and stuff like that.
Kind of like what I do with like my lunch and learns or these interviews. Same idea.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And that I did take from a lot from you and from Gary Vee and from other guys who were really just all about giving value, giving real value. But the second people recognize that you're not BSing and you're giving real value, and you could have the most elementary tips, right? Like most people don't know stuff that you know, even by being in lunch and learns. People in this group, most people don't know stuff that you know. So by giving these super elementary tips of stuff that you know what you're talking about in whatever it is, like then usually people respond positively. But like the haters,
They're gonna
I don't care.
Like
But
the reason why I brought up is because like there's always going to be that devil on your shoulder that says what if. And I found like the poorest words anybody can say is what if. What if it doesn't work? What if they say no? What if the fucking meteor comes back and crushes everybody on the planet? What if?
Like, my kid doesn't care about the haters. My kid wants a new bike. You
Right.
know, like my kid doesn't care about my haters. Like he's like, Dad, like if, what? No, it just doesn't care. So continue to give value. And again, the ROI on being a good person and giving value is like it compounds with time.
I remember
S&P 500.
I remember writing my first soap opera sequence. It's just emails, like you've seen them. It's just honestly just an email that's properly worded, right? Once a day. And I was talking with my bike shop client, and you've seen that pitch. He ended up paying me like $8,000 to $10,000 a month, and it blew his mind. Like the most earth-shattering thing that somebody would buy based upon the email you sent. I was like, he's like, no, you have to send like this really pretty graphic, and it has to load and it has to be written by design. I was like, no, man, it's just words, it's just text. And it blew his mind. And I come from a world where that's normal, and now you do too, right? Like it's soap opera sequence. This is it. They click, they call, they want to buy it. That's end of discussion.
It also has a much better chance to get in their inbox.
Correct.
Without links and without images and without call to actions, without anything sleazy, coming from a real person saying a real thing, it has a better chance to getting in that person's inbox. And if that person actually opens it in their inbox, your subsequent emails have a much better chance of getting in all those other people's inboxes. So it's just like compounds and compounds and compounds. And all of a sudden you have email addresses that are super, super healthy that have 90% inbox rates.
Yeah. And if I did not approach him and say, hey, we're going to write a very simple email, you're going to pay me money to do it, and if you don't love it, we're going to change it until you do, but chances are you will. We'll send out to everybody and listen, see what happens. If I didn't say that, he couldn't pay rent.
Correct.
And that ends up being like a more powerful force than what if it goes wrong. If I don't do this, it's going to hurt like hell. So I'm going to do it. Okay. Screw it, let's do it, because that pain is greater than the what if this guy from high school likes my stuff and makes fun of me. Like you got to figure out which one is more pleasurable, which one is worth more. And for you, it's your kids who can get a bike. Right.
It's like that thing you told me that our first meeting, like after joining the IC, after I was struggling for a couple of weeks, just turn your brain off, tell your brain to shut up, and you'll be fine. Like you are good enough. You are good enough. Like about the haters, about the people that say no, about the demos that screw up, like it is all good. There are plenty. There's so much work to go around in digital marketing. And it doesn't matter what you do. If you want to do it, be a content writer, if you want to write emails for people, if you want to cold outreach to people, if you want to do B2B or B2C or B2G, like you could be the B2G specialist and sell stuff to governments for businesses.
I do proposals to governments, so they sign and pay you thousands of dollars immediately.
Like there's so much work that if you just like go with it and continue to chomp away at whatever your definition of success is, you will be fine. You will be fine. It might take me, it took 4 years, but it could take somebody else 1 year. Like everyone has a different time frame. So well
done. We're going to bring it to an end. Everyone, Yoni Alpert going from 0 to 15K a month part-time, making a grand total of $120 last year. And now can do $96,000 this coming year with one client.
If they renew for the second part. Let's talk the first part. The first 6 months. The first 6 months is signed, sealed, and delivered. But we'll see about the next 6 months. Which I mean, again, if we end up with they continue on my retention rate, then it'll happen.
Love it. All right. We're going to bring it to a close. Don't hang up. We're going to debrief everyone. Yoni Alpert. See you guys later. Bye.
All right.